Let me get to something, man. Since we on women, I heard a grueling story about a woman in Yonkers. I posted on my Instagram on Friday for those that follow me on Instagram. Mm-hmm. This woman, Hispanic woman, had an IG live and she saved it to her IGTV. It was 25 minutes. I watched the entire thing, listened to the entire thing, and basically she told a story about her working at her job in Yonkers and having an encounter with two human traffickers. Right? One guy came in the store, and I'm just saying this so women could be a little more, because I'm gonna tell the whole story step by step. But if she wasn't aware towards the end, and if her coworkers didn't help her out, shit could have got bad for her. You know what I mean? So she works in a makeup store. Guy comes in, act like he's like, oh yeah, I'm shopping for my daughter. I'm waiting for her to call me back, right? So he's in the store shopping around, but he's going around the corner of like the counters, and he's just looking at her, acting weird. Then at some point he approaches her and he says like, oh, so like, what's your name? Mm-hmm. What do you do here? What's our product? And she's like, we sell makeup, like makeup everywhere. Like, in her head said that, but she's being, a good rep, a sales rep. So then he asks her like, oh, so how old are you? If I got asked that, I'm like, for what? Like, I'm here to sell you products. My age has nothing to do with that. Then he asked, oh, so when you get off? She felt like it was weird, but she was still kind of like it didn't click on her head that, like, who thinks somebody's a fucking human trafficker? You know what I mean? Like, that on the first thought that come in your head. Maybe I would have thought that, because I'm just a sicko like that. I just think
you watch a lot of ID,
but not even. I just be. I like. How you acting that? Like, you good? You sus? Like, but she didn't think that way. So she told him 8:00. So he shops around for a little bit, then he leaves. She helps more customers. Then he comes back at 7:52. Right, and at this point of the story, she starts to cry because she's like, he really came back. And
who did she tell the story to?
On IGTV.
Oh, IGTV.
Well, it was a live. Then it got saved to her IGTV. So she picked it to herself.
Okay.
Like spreading awareness and shit for girls in Yonkers and Tri-State. So he comes back and said, "Hey, you're still getting off at 8, right? Like, she told you 8. Why you back 8 minutes before 8? Like, you gonna pick her up on a date or some shit?" So she was just like, yeah, that shit was weird. So she started telling her manager, like, I don't feel too comfortable about this. He's waiting for me. And then, so they go to the back, towards the back. This other guy comes in, right? But she has to close the store. So this other customer, so while all this is going on, she's helping the final customer before they close. Mm-hmm. So this other guy comes in, his partner, both white guys, comes in the store. He's not even like, he's looking around the counter, but he's like being real creepy, looking at her and shit. So she goes to the back, tells the employees, they're freaking out now, like, yeah, that is weird. Why he asking me that? That is weird, right? So she's about to leave through the employee entrance. One of the girls on the floor comes back and said, "No, don't leave yet. I just overheard a guy just walked in say that we can't grab her right now. She's going through an employee entrance." So they was like, "Oh fuck!" Like, what you were saying was true. Like, it checked out. So they trying to figure out what to do. Finally, they call the police. The whole time I'm listening to this shit, I'm like, why ain't call the police? Like, early on, I would have called the police. This would be safe. Me personally, if I was a woman.
This is weird as hell.
So,
and she got to supply video too. She got to supply like video footage because she was at work, right?
Yeah, nah. In a post, she had 2 posts. One post was like security footage of like her taking a video of the security camera of them on the camera. The second video, which I'll tell in a few.
Nah, she got to show like actual video from the store.
Why?
Because this is all what she's saying. I'm a type of person, I need facts. I don't go off of just like what she's saying, like emotion behind that.
We don't need anything. That's her story. I'm not a prosecutor.
Plus, it could help if it is true. People would like to know what the hell these 2 niggas look like. So yeah, we need video footage.
Nah, I said I told you earlier they have video of them on.
I'm just
on
saying,
video.
like me,
But
me personally,
the way she's telling the story, I'm willing to bet my life on this girl wasn't lying about this shit.
You
know what I mean, because like
emotions got you.
Nah, it's just I'm thinking about like if I was telling a story, like who makes up this shit and go through all of this 25-minute like literally.
Jussie Smollett made up his shit.
Nah, but his shit had holes in it. Like you walked around for 3 hours with a noose on your neck.
That's the whole point, Dominique. Yeah, these mistakes are made so that we could make this new shit tamper proof. I'm not saying her story is bullshit. I'm just saying.
Okay.
The Libra in me, I don't believe shit. You could run to me crying about some shit. I cannot believe
a dollar type to where like you'll get stabbed and he has to like see the blood leaking from your stomach. Like
that's not.
You got stabbed? Show me.
That's cap because you
like
we know about medical shit that happened and niggas pulled up in the past. I didn't need to see that. I'm saying certain stories I have to.
All right, let me finish.
I got you.
But this girl was crying through the 25 minutes straight.
Like women don't be capping.
She was. That's not my first thought though. Like, nah, she might be capping. In this story, that's my first thought.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you why that type of thought process is harmful to women. I'm gonna tell you why.
It is harmful.
I'm gonna tell you.
But
look,
the capping needs to stop as well. The same way y'all
I mean, it wasn't like she like
listen, the
accused
same way
these guys' names.
Listen, the same way women hold niggas accountable for speaking against LGBTQ or anti-gay or anti-whatever, you gotta hold your own fucking gender accountable for false rape, false sexual assault, false all this shit. Allegations. You gotta castrate these women as well. You gotta put them on blast. You gotta hold them accountable.
I mean that goes without saying.
No, a lot of shit in America don't go without.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why this particular stance is harmful to women. So, after they tell the girl that the guy is, the coworker said what he said on the phone, they call the police. The police come after taking mad long. The police come. They don't even go inside. They go speak to the two guys outside. Speak to them. She see them, I guess, through the window or whatever. Now the guys are outside. Cause they figure like she's not visible on the search floor no more. She's in the back room, so they can't see her no more. And the store's already closed. They're waiting. Like the store been closed since like 8:30 or some shit. They're waiting outside in front of their car. The video shows they're just waiting on the hood. I'm just talking this shit, waiting. There's no customers around. The store is closed.
But it's only her, the other employee.
It's her manager. It's her manager, and like another girl, I think.
Yeah, another.
And then I think that girl leaves, so now it's just her and the manager there. What?
This is me. All right, keep going.
How does it make no sense?
She couldn't go and call the cops, bring the cops or some shit. Like the fuck.
You're not let me tell my story.
No, well, her.
So
story.
the cops come and they speak to. She said, she says the cops come, they speak to the two guys, then they leave. When they see the cops leave, they call them back. It was like, yo, we just called about a possible human trafficking. She tells the story on the phone. And the operator says, yeah, they came. They spoke to the two guys. The guys said they were private investigators. And the cops left. And she was like, what the fuck? Like, you ain't asked for no identification, no badge number, nothing. Y'all just left. So she called them back she said, can you I need you guys to dispatch me another unit. Like, this is serious. They come back, the cops come and talk to her, but the cops is like she's like crying hysterically. She's like, this guy was saying these things to me, and one of my coworkers overheard one of the guys saying that we can't grab her right now. And the cops, she said the cops said what they said. She said the cops said something like, well, how do you know they're here for you? And she was like, what do you mean? The store's closed. Nobody's here. Those guys were in the store looking at me mad weird, asking me mad questions. You know what I mean? Then she was like, we overheard somebody say what the guy said, that they were trying to grab her, but she's going to the entrance. She said the cop was like, oh, maybe that's just, the way that that's just, maybe code language of like, between them, the private investigators. And she's like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you ain't taking this shit serious enough. Like, you know what I mean? Because in that situation, if you a cop and it's a human trafficking incident, it don't matter if he could have felt like she was lying. I feel like as a cop, it's your duty to get to the bottom of that shit. Yeah. Period. Like, what are these niggas doing in the front? You a public. I'm paying your fucking bills.
This is technically distress.
So it's like, it's like, are we? I understand the mindset of we can't just believe women unconsciously, like, as soon as they say it.
I'm not just singling out women.
Obviously, but we speak about women right now
because people are fucking retarded. You gotta keep the drive.
Okay,
people are
both
retarded.
sides, but we on women right now, so I'm speaking about women.
Well, I'm dollars.
We don't supposed to, believe them unconsciously. But this wasn't just like a shit we see on the internet where it's no backstory. It's no like, let's say I was the cop. It's no like, it's no pre-story. It's just, we went out one night and he raped me. All right, so where's like,
but my
did y'all have connections and shit?
Like,
you know what I mean?
You're doing this on the IG live. We are not seeing. I haven't seen.
And she showed. By the way, she showed a video of like the two guys in front of her store. Mm-hmm. And she had like video cameras, like from I guess the back room of her store, and they was just like pacing in front of the store.
My whole
and
thing
shit.
is this though: you can get the actual video footage from the store and release that shit. You can also get actual video of the cameras outside the store in the complex or whatever lot. And release that shit. We don't need to see it pre-recorded from your phone. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, we don't know if she has the authority to take the footage from, because that's going on her socials. We don't know if her job. I know for a fact. My job wouldn't give me authorization to take the video footage from the file and post it on my personal Instagram. Like,
I'm saying through law enforcement.
Still, it's going on her personal Instagram. They wouldn't allow that.
I'm saying.
I mean, that's why. And plus, it's just an easier thing. Instead of going through all that.
With the intent of to post on your Instagram. The same way we see video footage from other lots and businesses, inside and outside, is the same way we can see this. This is what I'm saying. Point blank, period.
But that takes, that it takes time to get those videos released.
Bro, at the end of the day, me personally, if I needed to believe this shit, I had to see that. Me personally. I
mean, I understand you, but that's not.
I'm not believing. Yeah. I'm not just believing you because of IG story.
All right. That was the
you think IG.
That was the cops.
Is the closest.
That was the cops mentality, but that's the worst position.
You think of all the men in your life. You think IG or people in your life, all the research. IG story is the smartest shit to do. I mean, granted,
she's spreading awareness.
Yeah, but my method of spreading awareness is way more efficient, way more effective, and we're exposing these niggas. That's my whole point.
And how would that be?
Because we're exposing the actual video. So now the car. We can zoom in. We can do all this shit. Pre-recorded, the resolution is not going to be as clear.
I mean, we don't know if she's trying to get that. That's number one.
Then that's fucking stupid. Then what's the point of talking about these so-called potential kidnappers?
What do you mean?
What's the point of talking about these so-called potential kidnappers if I'm not trying to get them apprehended?
I'm gonna tell you why.
That's the dumbest shit
ever. She called the cops twice to get them reprimanded. That's two.
Apprehended.
That's one, right? We don't know what she's doing further than that because they do have video of the people. So I'm pretty sure they forwarded to the police, right? I know that when it comes to the security videos in the job, that's a separate company. You can't just go to your manager and say, hey, let me get these tapes. Email them to me. No, it's a separate company. So
I know that. That's why I said through law enforcement.
Okay.
I know these things.
So that takes
not all jobs.
That takes time though. Regardless of what job it is, it takes time. So
we basically wasting our time then.
No,
talking about the shit. What's the point?
So her mindset is probably this shit just happened to me. I'm gonna go on IG Live and I want to get the quickest amount
of awareness.
I want to get the quickest form of awareness. I don't she's
Out
probably
in this vicinity?
she's probably anxious. She's probably, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to expose these niggas quick, even if it's not what you think is the best way of exposing them. I'm gonna get this video quick. I'm not gonna wait until they give me word a few days from now from the company. I'm gonna take it now. I'm gonna post it. The videos is posted the same day as the thing.
I'm saying in all its totality. If it's same day, that's different. Yeah, she can do all of this. She can do all of this. But at the same time, in addition to that, I still need you to get your ass out and try to get these other video footage. I'm not saying the same day.
I mean, we don't know what she's done. I haven't followed up with
I'm not speaking about same day. I'm saying overall. If your overall objective is not to get these niggas off the street, that's like these fucking women saying, oh, Cooper didn't touch me. Oh, this guy raped me. If your overall fucking objective is not to get these niggas out of here or in jail, then you're wasting fucking time and you're lying. That's my whole... Bro,
I
then
strongly
you capping.
Disagree.
You just want attention or some shit.
Nah, I strongly disagree.
That's like me expose. Oh, this nigga.
I strongly disagree. So you're saying just because someone doesn't, let's say someone doesn't, because
if somebody is trying to kidnap me, I'm not.
But that's you.
We're not using any other. We're not
that's
using
you.
any other scenario. We stick in the rape and kidnap. If
I know you just come here. I'm about to finish my point.
Or kidnap me, I am not gonna make an IG live and expose them and go on the mayor and all these TV shows. I'm not gonna go on all this shit.
That's you.
And expose. Then be like, no, I don't want them apprehended. I'm not doing that dumb shit.
But you can't. You saying that out of no knowledge of her saying that.
I'm speaking for me. I never said she did that.
One thing that I'm really good at is not projecting what I would do on a totality. Like, we don't. Okay. That's what you would do. So
on a totality,
this is what
How is it a totality?
This is what I disagree about. Let me finish. This is what I disagree with what you said.
I'm using these words.
You said that she's lying if she doesn't take it to the police and then don't want to get them apprehended. Right?
Anybody's lying.
Okay, I strongly disagree with that because, and she mentioned this in the live, and I would have said this to myself too. How do we know that she doesn't fear for her life? Like, these guys know what car she drives. They see her license plate. They know
How do they know that's her car? How they know that's her car?
Because she's saying, I didn't state it on past, but they were like standing like near her car on purpose and shit.
Yeah, how they know that's her car?
They were standing. Well, I'm gonna tell more of the story. They were standing near, like, remember,
she's looking at them through the thing.
Where she worked at, everyone left. It's only her and the manager there.
Yeah.
They're standing near her car, so she can't get to her car to leave. Another thing.
What part of my question don't you understand?
What? You said how they know that that's her car.
Yeah.
In my mind, that's alluding to the thought that they know that's her car. Everybody's car is left.
This is what you assume, or that's what she said?
I mean, obviously,
because I've seen a lot of business lots closed up with multiple cars in the lot still. So, all right, keep going.
Are we just gonna go with the story about? We're just gonna assume she's lying.
I'm just dissecting. This is the investigative side.
All right.
But all right, if you want to just run with the story, all right, we'll just run with the story for the rest of it.
All right, so
finish.
Another thing she said is that they were the guys was on the phone. And they were like speaking to somebody, and they were like, I guess, looking at her. Like, you could look at somebody and know when they're speaking about you. We do that shit all the time in public. Like, when a guy looks at you and he says something and he says something back, he looks at you. We do that shit all the time in public. She said the guy was doing that on the phone, like describing. I mean, not hearing him, but I know for a fact if I'm somewhere and somebody's on the phone and saying, "Yo," it's safe to assume the person is just talking about me to somebody on the phone.
Okay.
We haven't done this.
I don't do that all the time.
We're not talking about all the time.
You just talked about projecting. I'm the one that don't project. Nigga, that's projecting. That's an example of projecting.
No, that's a false equivalency.
Just because I see somebody on the phone and look at me
and what we would do as a broad thing.
Let me get clarification.
We've been in situations where we have said,
I see somebody on the phone looking at me.
No, or just know that somebody's talking about you. Or know that somebody's
at times, not
obviously it's not all the time.
No, the way you said it, it's like you see somebody in public and they on the phone and it's like, all right.
Yeah,
I don't assume like, that nigga talking about me.
I've literally said we have done that before. That's the word. That's the term I use. We have done that before.
Every human. Okay.
Now, some people really don't just notice that. Some people don't have the awareness for that.
Helen Keller.
Yeah. Who?
Helen Keller.
She's blind, right?
Deaf and
blind. That's a different story. Yeah. But
dumb, I think.
I want to get back to what I was saying. Yeah. The fact I disagree with you saying that anyone's lying if they don't want to take the extra step to get this person apprehended. We're not taking into account that anyone, men or women, but I'm saying women right now, these women may feel, and she mentioned this, and this is something I would have said regardless. She may feel like her life is at danger if she speaks to the police any further. In the mindset of these guys may have seen, let's just say they may have seen her, let's add everything together. They may have seen her license plate. They may have know what car she drives. They, like, what I just described about them being on the phone, describing her and stuff like that, what it seems to be, they may have been looking for her. Like, they may have specifically came to that store because they seen her. Maybe they did some research and know that it was her. So with all of these things, that's what it sounds like. Right? So with all of these things, maybe I'll be someone that say, nah, I'm going to get these niggas in jail. But I can't say that someone that doesn't feel exactly that way because they feel that if I do to the, like, if I go first to the cops, maybe these guys know where I live. Maybe if I get these two guys arrested, the other guys they working with may come for me as a retaliation. I can't say that this woman's lying because she doesn't do that. Because someone ain't going to be just so gun-ho and like, nah, I don't give a fuck about anything. I'm putting niggas in jail. It's the right thing to do because you don't want these guys to harm other people, obviously. But we got to understand that some people may be like, damn, like, how many times have we been like, we seen like on a TV show, a person may have an opportunity to snitch, but they're like, damn, them niggas is gangsters. I might get killed for doing that. I might get approached for doing that. And they say, but the better good is to snitch because the community be better. But I don't want these niggas coming to my crib. You went to the cops? So who knows if that situation? She said they was around her car. I'm taking her word for it. But I did say may, because we don't know. Let's say they did see her license plate, know what car she drives, may know where she lives. All this going in her mind, she may be like, damn, man, as much as I want to go further, what if they retaliate? I'm just a woman. These are two guys. Who knows who they work with? These niggas may know niggas in my area. You know what I mean?
And plus,
that's why I'm just saying, like, a little more understanding. I don't think automatically, you're lying. Oh my God. I think that's the wrong mindset to think if somebody doesn't go the extra mile for that, they automatically lying. Because I'm pretty sure it's a lot of women who have gotten raped, and the guy who raped them is like the president of their school. Or like, you know what I'm saying?
They just have high status, or maybe he just a nigga that people believe didn't do it.
And if they tell their careers, like all the time we hear about
these
little young actors having a dream, the executive touching them. If they tell their career is over, so that's the main point. I don't disagree with you totally, but I do disagree with that stand. And that's probably, like I said earlier, that's probably why people think that you may be a little judgmental. Because, like I said, like you have that one stance, but sometimes it's okay to be like, you know what, I understand that, and maybe you may think differently from me. You know what I mean?
Okay, I've came to the realization of this as of today.
But you understand where I'm coming from, that?
Yes,
like the
100%.
whole like being scared and not being.
I assess all of these things. Yeah. People act like, oh, he just goes straight to that conclusion and that's it. He don't consider shit else. He said, fuck everything else, fuck everybody else.
About them automatically lying, it could make somebody think that.
You heard me. You didn't listen to me. I said, if that's all you want to do and you have no intention of also having that person apprehended.
Yeah.
My stance was, if all you want to do is talk about this shit, yeah, I got raped by John Hankinson.
That's kind of insulting to do that.
No, listen. I got raped by John Hankinson at 225 Alabama Avenue.
Okay.
On this date, this time, I got all this information. I'm telling y'all all this information. But NYPD, by the way, I don't want y'all to arrest John Hankinson.
I mean, but she did call them twice though.
And I was gonna say that. In addition to her feeling like that, plus the cops showing up twice and not even coming to her aid, it's like, why the fuck would I push this even more?
It may discourage her.
Which is me helping your defense.
Yeah.
To show I'm not on some bias shit. I get that's what I'm saying. I get it.
I was gonna say that,
but I'm not. When it comes to justice, this is what I was gonna say. Mm-hmm. I've came to the realization that majority of people who talk this justice shit really don't want justice, or they really don't know what justice is. That's the conclusion I've came to as of today.
Sure.
Because that's half-assed justice to me. Yeah. In my eyes, that's half-assed.
Sure. Because I mean, anyone not getting arrested is not the full job.
For you to solve a solution, you have to rectify the problem and bring awareness. By now, if it's, for example, a plumbing problem, we rectify the situation, get new parts, change it out, whatever. And now we also know what caused this plumbing issue, how we fixed it, and how we can move forward, what to avoid moving forward. This is a solution. So now all these younger women coming into the world, we not giving them a proper solution. We giving them a half-ass example of a solution. This is why this is the stance I'm speaking from. If we want a better world, we need to cure people. We don't need to put band-aids on people and enable people with
that.
We need to stop enabling people with half-ass and shit.
I hell that. You gotta account people's feelings though, and people's mindsets, and people's
but people also gotta be willing to change and willing to heal. Yeah. If you have a problem,
agree with that, but you can't say somebody automatically lying because of that.
I can say that you're lying about justice that you want.
Oh, okay. That's not the way you phrased it.
Okay, but that's not. This is what I'm saying. People assume certain shit. They hold on to certain words, and they be like, "Oh, dog, this." Right, this is why I say, like, majority of debates, I cannot lose because when it gets finally broken down and people fully understand both sides, they fully understand where I'm coming from.
When you first said that, you didn't mention the stance of. Like you just made your final point about this is what you came. This is your conclusion that you're coming to, is that people are.
But I've been had that conception though.
Yeah, but okay,
it's just I never said it on here.
You never said it
on here. Yeah,
but for the sake of the debate that we're having, right?
Okay.
When you said that somebody's automatically lying. Me not hearing you say your final point you just mentioned, I'm not thinking that, they're lying about being a justice warrior.
You're acting like Fox News right now. When you say somebody's automatically lying, say that whole sentence. If you're seeking justice for something and you're only picking one out of
but you didn't give your bottom line. We were talking about you. The point I was debating with you is that your stance was you need more proof, and like you don't really believe them at first. So when you say that they're automatically lying, of course I'm a tie.
I didn't say part. Like that though. That's what I'm saying.
You said
if they not trying to find full justice, you're lying. Then yes. So yes, that I could say that. Tying
the original debate onto that final end. So you can understand how I would tie the two. You were speaking about being a justice warrior, like going for justice. You're lying about being but you can
and future generations.
But you can understand how I would think that you were saying
how most people would think. This is what I'm saying. Most people think like that. For the
sake of the debate, because majority say in the future,
bro.
You know what I mean?
And this is why I preach communication.
But you didn't communicate your bottom line at that particular time. You understand what I'm saying? I know.
All right. All right. So question.
That's why I was like,
question.
That's why I was like, whoa, I disagree with that because I don't think they're automatically lying about being raped because they don't want to go the extra mile.
So
You know.
So every time you speak on a topic, you state a full dissertation of everything you think, who, what, where, when, why, how. You state everything before
it
the person
have
could
to
speak.
be the full thing. If you would have,
right.
no. But if you, no, come on, man. You understand.
No, you understand
exactly.
my point because all this short started from. At the end of the day, niggas, you should seek justice. Point blank. Period.
Now I do.
If you have a problem, seek justice.
I was debating, and I was trying to, and I was kind of like, we was on opposite ends. It started with saying like, all right, you gonna believe her story, and I'm not.
That's what it sounded like.
And I need more evidence. That was the
it sounded like I was just repulsive to her story. I didn't want to hear it.
And then you added on that if you don't want to go the extra mile, that
extra mile.
You could say, I'm paraphrasing, but you could say it's an assumption, but in any debate, they would have used that against you. Like it was like a debate class, they would have used that against you.
Dominic, people listening to it, when they would have cut it off right after that, they wouldn't even hear all of this right now. Because people are fucking sensitive, and that's my point.
You always have to listen. That's my point.
Niggas is sensitive.
I'm always willing to have discourse and shit.
People don't want to. That's why I said enabling. When you keep enabling somebody with their bullshit, it's gonna get worse.
But and they're gonna keep that. You should have mentioned that a little earlier. So
victims of everything could now become manipulators because they could always, oh well, I'm a victim of this, well I'm a victim of that, well I served in Iraq, I did this, I did that, and people going, oh well pity, she did that, he did get touched as a boy.
One thing that
the fuck, that's my point. People need to be accountable too.
No, I agree.
Not for the incident happening, because let me wash this up, because he said, not for the incident occurring. They need to be accountable after for the healing process.
But another thing that I would say,
you can't keep
another thing that I would say, and this is another tie that I would remember when we had that conversation when you was like that, people who get stopped by the cops, they need to stop panicking and being nervous. They need to just have posture, and my stance was, like I said, I understand that, but
you never know what running through people's head. Everybody's
maybe
different.
The nigga saw his pops get shot at 6, and he got a traumatic experience. Maybe when he see you know what I'm saying. So we gotta account for that. So for this situation, we got women who, like some women, they not growing up saying that. They're not choosing to be a justice warrior. They're not choosing to be raped. They're not choosing to be put in a situation where somebody gonna look at them and say, "Hey, now it's your responsibility to stand up and make sure that this shit goes viral and these guys are put in jail."
I'm not saying that either. I'm not saying that either. The victim doesn't even have to blast it. My whole thing is whoever blasted, they need to show full surveillance. I never said she had to put the video up.
I mean, but I said that
I want to see that. I never said she had to do it. That's why I said through law enforcement. If you really want justice, request law enforcement or make enough noise that law enforcement get that video, and then they put that shit out through the local newspaper and protect your neighborhood, because that is solving the problem.
Whether or not, I agree, but whether or not the video comes out, if those guys get reprimanded,
it's gonna get a slap on the wrist, because we've seen it time and time again too.
That too, which is a slap in the women's face.
Exactly.
Like, I'm fucking doing all this for y'all to, like, I'm putting my life at risk for retaliation.
Exactly.
And then they
get ultimately the judges and senator and governor slap me in the face.
What I was gonna say is that whether she put it out herself or she told one of her cousins to put it out and blast it, if those guys get reprimanded, who's to say they won't say, well, we was talking to her? They don't know who exposed them, right? They don't know who went to the police. It's anonymous. So they may say, all right, these things got put in jail. We was talking to her. It must be her who did that shit. So we're gonna retaliate. So it don't matter who puts it out. She still may be thinking like, damn,
about retaliation,
like
her health, health and safety.
I do want to put these niggas in jail. I did kind of do my part, but like, I didn't ask to be this poster child for the rape. You know what I mean?
But see, that too goes that
and
all
this shit takes a level of like
confidence.
Selfishness and saying that like I do agree. It is a responsibility. It does has responsibility because you do want to preserve the community, but
see,
not everybody asks for that.
This
title.
This is the accountability I talk about. So you telling me as a victim, you rather live in fear for the rest of your days that these niggas may or may not potentially harm you, track you down, whatever, than for you to seek vengeance or seek help to stop them from potentially harming you. You basically saying, you know what? They got all this information. Let's say they got all this information. They won. My life is over. I'm going to live my life in fear for the rest of my life because I ain't going to do shit to stop them. Because if I do shit, they might go to the cops. They might kill me or get somebody next to me. That makes no sense to me.
To be honest, I mean,
people get in shock. I get that. My point about accountability is there's no age limit on when a survivor is fully going to gain confidence. When I say accountability, I mean that survivor, if you're talking about your trauma and you're using that trauma recurringly as a safety net, because now I got to go really, 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 really microscopic and using it as a safety net. I don't want to hear shit from you and or I think you're lying if you're not doing shit to
lying about
your event. If you're not doing shit
lying about
your incident, your safety net.
Oh.
If you keep using it as a safety net.
What you mean by that? Like, what you mean by that? Like a safety net?
Every little thing. Okay, for example.
Like crying wolf?
Oh, Abdallah, keep drinking. Well, you know I got touched when I was little by Uncle Tommy. Abdallah, you keep asking me for money to buy weed. Oh yeah, you know I got touched by Uncle Tommy.
I mean,
well, you know, Abdallah, you can't hold a job. Well, you know I got touched by.
I think you should give a better example because like asking for money won't be a kind of a correlation from like being molested.
Bro, that's my example with me, you being the victim. That's my example.
I mean, I just think it's not a good example.
All right, I don't care who thinks it's a good example or not, but at the end of the day, it's an example, and people use multiple things.
You could have said like, "Yo, why you keep talking to young girls like all the time?" Well, you know, I was molested as a kid,
bro. You know but it's an example. You know what example means, right?
Just for like the story's sake,
damn,
just make it a close one.
That's what I mean by safety net. So if you keep recurring and you're not trying to, you as an individual grow out of that trauma
at that point,
and or bring true justice to the person that brought you the trauma, I don't want to hear shit from you.
Sure, I understand you not wanting to hear from them. I still won't say that they're lying. They're totally lying, but who knows, you know? Because like, to be honest, I mean, before we end this topic, this is a great topic. I had a friend recently tell me about a situation where she actually got raped, and it was from someone that, like she didn't really know well, but they were connected to someone that she knew well, and she didn't expect it. And I won't divulge too much information, obviously, but they have certain connections, you know, like very strong connections that she hasn't gone to the police. And I understand. When I first heard it, and we're like, why she's telling me the story, I'm like, nah, we got to get this nigga off the streets. Like, we got to get this nigga. But as she's telling me more, I guess I'm just understanding like why she wouldn't, like when she explained like his whole dynamic of who she is and who he is and everything.
Is it one of these Deucepalooza again? Is it another Deucepalooza? No. Like, goddamn, nigga, y'all at it again? Goddamn, the fuck.
After I heard the
horny
whole
ass
story,
niggas.
At the end of it, I said, you know what? Even though I would want you to, you know, do this. She did fear for her life. I understand why you would be hesitant to do that. I just understand it.
I do too.
You know what I mean? Because
that's why I said there's no set time limit on the healing process.
Yeah.
But that shit gotta be on the fucking roadmap. It's like being in a relationship. Oh, there's no you have no intentions of getting married. You have no intention of being having a child. But you're not telling your partner this. You just have this shit in your mind. See, people they tend to believe shit and fuck with people and not fuck with people based on examples and scenarios that's convenient to them. Majority of people who disagree with me on my stance with that, I bet would agree with me that somebody entering a committed relationship, both parties should have a definitive, communication in terms of long-term goals, short-term goals. They go, yeah, I agree with that. Oh, but you disagree with niggas seeking full justice. Okay, copy. Like, niggas wishy-washy. This is niggas Mr. Miyagi. Way one, way buff.
But I got one.